Hi everyone, my name is Barbara Vance and I thank you for joining me today for this lesson on how to write values for your character. This lesson specifically is going to look at how do we choose character values that create really interesting plot and conflict in our stories. You always want to make sure that your character and your plot are uniquely intertwined, and character values are one of the most important things you will choose about your character because they drive the character and the plot. So this lesson is going to help you do that. If it's of interest, please know that this is part of a much larger course on character values. So click on the link in the description box below because it will take you to the full course, which comes with downloadable resources that will help you put these lessons into your own writing. I thank you for watching. Let's dive into the lesson. Now that we have looked at values and beliefs and how they relate, I want to pull you back to focus on values. The overarching message of this video is that values are often the center of conflict. This is why we make hard decisions every day. If nothing came into conflict, there would be no hard decisions. We spend 10 minutes deciding an ice cream flavor because we like vanilla and cookies and cream. We feel bad when we miss our son's soccer practice because we value work and family. Now this can be for a number of reasons, and a single novel, even a single character, can manifest several of these reasons. What I want to do is run through all of them quickly, and then I will walk you through each one at a time. So the first reason that values can come into conflict is that the character doesn't behave in accordance with something that she values, and she knows it. But she's content to disregard the discrepancy for some reason that is based on a belief, and she's not interested in rectifying the situation. The second reason is that the character knows they are not behaving in accordance with their values, but she is trying to. Reason number 3, the character doesn't behave in accordance with a value, but she does not realize she is being hypocritical. And reason number 4, the character has conflicting values, sees that she has to choose one or the other, but she doesn't like the choice. So let's look at each of these. Reason number 1, the character doesn't behave in accordance with something that she values. She knows it, but is content to disregard the discrepancy for some reason based on a belief, and is not interested in rectifying the situation. Now this is a common situation not just in story, but in life. We all have values, and we all know that we do not always live up to them. This could simply be because they don't try to obtain that value. For example, a taskmaster basketball coach or something may value teamwork in his players while totally not caring that he doesn't possess that value himself. Reason number 2 would be that the character knows they are not behaving in accordance with their values, but that character really is trying to. Now, most of us have a sense of who we would like to be, and yet we all fall short of the mark. A woman may value a demeanor in which she does not gossip, and yet every time she's around a certain person, she's just opening her mouth and gossiping like mad. And then she goes off and totally regrets it. Or think of the story of an addict. She doesn't want to be addicted. Family is the most important thing to her, but she keeps overeating or drinking or doing drugs. She hates that she does it. She's trying to quit, but it's a struggle. Now this reason doesn't have to be as extreme as addiction. Your character might value being forgiving, but struggles with anger management. Whatever the situation, this is a deeply internal struggle plot-wise. Reason number 3, the character doesn't behave in accordance with a value, but she does not realize that she's actually being hypocritical. Now this situation does not necessarily mean that there are two conflicting values. Think of someone who thinks a lot about how important the environment is, but cannot be bothered to recycle. Now, Critically, we could argue that if he really valued the planet, he would recycle, but that is the author getting in the way of the story and the character. People do not behave logically. In the character's mind, which is what matters for the story, he values the planet. This is what makes for interesting reading. He values the environment, but he isn't doing much to help it. That gives the reader room to interpret the character and to say to ourselves, well, either this person is totally hypocritical, or he's the kind of person who doesn't act on his beliefs. Remember, if your character acts completely consistently with his values, there is little character interpretation on the part of the reader. Now, reason number 4. A character has conflicting values. This is another extremely common value conflict in stories. I actually have a course on dramatizing conflicting values and beliefs, which I recommend watching. It gets into this in great detail. A character may value family and also value her career. And in your story, perhaps she has been offered an opportunity to work abroad for a year, but it will mean leaving her daughter behind with her husband and missing out on a year of her daughter's life. That is a big decision. And it's a big decision because she values both of those things. And a plot is one long sequence of character decisions. If you only give your character obvious decisions to make in which she isn't forced to make a hard decision, then your story will not be terribly interesting. So we want to make her sweat a little, pit one value against another. Now, does this mean that all values are good and we only make characters choose between saving a lost dog or donating money to a charity? Absolutely not. As we will see in the next video, values can be positive or negative. But before we get there, let's recap. At this point, we have now looked at values, beliefs, and the ways values come into conflict. If you are following along with the worksheet, take a break and complete the next question.